Hey, this is Stacy from Let's Cook Y'all. Welcome back to our channel. If you're new, welcome. We're so glad you're here. We hope you enjoy all the content on our channel and you'll consider hitting that red subscribe button. We're back with a brand new week of easy and delicious meals. We've tried a new recipe. We've got some fall favorites that are perfect for these cool evenings, and we hope you enjoy all the meals in this week's What's for Dinner video. For the first meal, I'm going to take some water and beef it up with 3 or 4 bouillon cubes and also a packet of this Herbox brand sodium-free powdered chicken bouillon. I'm going to add some seasoning, some garlic powder, some Trader Joe's onion salt, and some Trader Joe's 21 seasoning salute, and mix that all together and bring it to a gentle boil. We're going to poach 2 chicken breasts for tonight's recipe. If you watched last week's video, you saw that I made an Instant Pot white beans and sausage, and I made a big pan of cornbread. The two of us can't eat all that cornbread. Sometimes I freeze it. I had it fresh, but I always keep cornbread in the freezer for this recipe. You're going to need 4 cups of crumbled cornbread. Then finely dice some onion, yellow or white, whatever you have available on hand. Recipe calls for ½ cup of onion and a cup of celery. I leave the celery out. I add a little more onion. We're just going to go with this. I'm keeping an eye on the chicken breasts that are poaching and at a low simmer. I just use a instant read thermometer. These did not register 165, so they went back in to cook a little longer. In the largest skillet I have, this is a deep dish 12-inch skillet. I heated it up, added some olive oil, and started sauteing my onions or the celery. And I checked my chicken again, and it magically reached at least 165, so we are good. I did save about a cup of the broth that we're going to incorporate into the casserole dish. And I apologize for the poor camera work on my part. In the very back, you can see me pouring that 1 cup in, and then we're going to season the onion celery broth mixture and add, since this is a casserole, the cream of chicken and the cream of mushroom. The original recipe called for chicken and rice soup, but I have never used that, so we will add these 2 condensed soups and slowly start stirring them in and combining them. I haven't tried this before. I'm going to try just a drop of sage, since it's getting to be that time of year. This recipe is about 20 years old. The original recipe calls for 1 whole chicken that you boil, then debone, and then pull the meat off. I've always cooked for 2, so I just used 2 large chicken breasts, and I'm going to cut and shred the chicken into bite-sized pieces. Once the broth with the veggies have combined with the condensed soups and all mixed together and heated through, you add the 4 cups of cornbread crumbs and combine that really well in your big saucepan. You've probably figured it out by now. This is a basic cornbread dressing, a good old-fashioned southern thing that we have normally at Thanksgiving. The name of the recipe is actually called chicken and dressing. You take half of the cornbread dressing mixture and put in the bottom of a greased casserole dish. Again, I only use 2 chicken breasts for the 2 of us. It does call for a whole chicken, so I'm probably a little shy on the chicken, but it works really well for us because Tim absolutely adores dressing. He normally only gets it coming up at Thanksgiving and at Christmas, so this was a little bonus recipe for him to have a dressing or chicken and dressing before Thanksgiving. We will bake in a preheated 350-degree oven about 45 to 50 minutes. We don't have casseroles very often, and we really don't have anything that tastes like Thanksgiving and Christmas very often, once, maybe twice a year. But we will dive into this chicken and dressing casserole. Easy sides, just some canned cranberry sauce, some whole green beans out of a can that I warmed up and added the Tony Chachere's to, or any kind of Creole seasoning. Chicken and dressing is what's for dinner tonight.
Ooh, this may be just about as good as a biscuit.
I didn't think anything would beat a biscuit on your scale.
I didn't say it could beat it. I said just about. Ooh, that looks so good.
It is hot and steamy.
I do love me some dressing.
I know you do. For tonight's new recipe, I started off by putting some spaghetti into some boiling salted water, and then I took out the vegetables that I had and that we like, which is some broccoli, some mushrooms, and some carrots. Rather than dicing the carrots, Tim really prefers for me to take a peeler and peel long, thin strands. It's a texture thing, I guess, but you can simply dice some carrots or whatever vegetables you like. I also took some of my homemade egg rolls out of the freezer. I defrosted them for 90 seconds in the microwave and then got them in the air fryer. My red wok makes me so happy. I got it hot and then added avocado oil. I don't have peanut oil, and added some garlic and ginger and sauteed that just really quick for about 30 or 60 seconds. I added some crab rangoon in with the egg rolls in my air fryer. And then after that was going, I started working with the vegetables. The broccoli and some red onions went in first since they're harder and they take longer to cook. And then the carrots. And then the mushrooms at the very end. Once the spaghetti finished cooking, I drained it and then added it hot to the wok and took my tongs and tried to incorporate it. It does tend to stick together. I don't rinse my pasta. I'm in that category. I don't know which camp you're in. And then rather than making up my own sauce, I'm still working on using this bottle of soyaki from Trader Joe's. So I use that as basically my stir-fry sauce. Still working on cleaning things out. I had part of a bottle of the soyaki from Trader Joe's, so I decided to take one chicken breast and marinate it in the soyaki, and Tim grilled it and also basted it with it. I also used some of the soyaki to make a small batch, quick vegetable lo mein using the vegetables that I had and some spaghetti noodles. We will top that with some green onions, split the chicken breast, and in the air fryer, I made us some crab rangoons, minus one that Tim is eating, and took out 2 of my last homemade egg rolls that we make in an air fryer. So we will split this chicken and have some sides, show you a quick picture of our plate. It's a favorite for me. Chinese is what's for dinner in our house tonight. The next night, I'm back at it, chopping vegetables. I've had a lot of subscribers through the years ask what my favorite kitchen tool is, and you're looking at it. It's my Wusthof knife. I actually find chopping vegetables to be very calming and therapeutic. For tonight's meal, I needed some carrots, some onion, most people would use celery, and a whole lot of broccoli. This is a quick broccoli cheese soup that I actually love and adore, but have not made in almost 2 years. The first thing we're going to do with the broccoli is add a little bit of water and then steam it in the microwave to go ahead and get it partially cooked. I think I cooked it for about 2 minutes. The original recipe calls for a 10-ounce package of frozen broccoli florets, the ½ cup each of onions and carrots, a 16-ounce package or a pound of Velveeta, and then to make the cheese sauce, you'll need a ½ stick of butter and a ¼ cup of flour, 2 cups of milk, and I do use 2 kinds of pepper, both white and black. And don't worry about writing all these down. This is a recipe that we've shown before, and I'll leave a link to the recipe at our website. I'll heat up my favorite copper saucepan and then add some oil when it's hot and go ahead and saute the onions and the carrots. Since I am using fresh broccoli that I've already steamed, I wait till almost the end. I want everything to have a little bit of a firm but not be too mushy. But we're going to saute all of the veggies in this big skillet and then switch to my soup pot or my Dutch oven. We will melt the butter, ½ stick or 4 tablespoons. Sprinkle in a ¼ cup of all-purpose flour, and then I take one of my other favorite gadgets, a flat whisk, and start working that around until it's all incorporated and the flour taste burns off. Alexa, set a timer for 1 minute. Who needs a gym membership? Just take a flat whisk and work on a roux for a while and make a sauce. we take the 2 cups of milk, and I do work it in a little bit at a time and incorporate that into the flour butter paste mixture slowly, and then towards the end, once I feel like there's no more lumps and everything's incorporated, I'll add the rest of it in to make the beginnings of the sauce. Slowly start adding in the Velveeta chunks. I have tried this with all different kinds of fresh cheeses, grated cheddar, grated Colby Jack. It just doesn't work. It's not the same. I only buy Velveeta for this recipe. It's not the healthiest thing in the world, but it just does not work with freshly shredded cheddar. I do add a pinch of salt, even though the Velveeta's got a lot of it in it, and then a couple of kinds of pepper to taste, and then we'll add the sauteed vegetables in at the end.
To go with the soup, I made a quick fall harvest salad, which is my basics: walnut, cheddar, apples, added some red onions and croutons, made a quick honey Dijon vinaigrette, 2 kinds of mustard, honey, a dab of mayonnaise to help thicken it, white wine vinegar, olive oil, salt and pepper, to go with the broccoli cheese soup.
Ooh, Mama, that looks good.
And actually, Tim requested this, surprisingly enough. He's not a broccoli fan, but he does like this soup, right?
Well, I mean,
oh,
it's
no.
cheese.
Now, okay, is this because it's cheese? So he's saying, now don't say you don't like it, because you did actually ask for it.
I'm trying to be healthy.
This is not healthy, darling.
Okay.
Sorry. I actually don't buy Velveeta except to make this soup. We don't eat this very often. And I looked it up. I have not made this soup since January of 2019, so it's been a while. Broccoli cheese soup and salad is what's for dinner tonight.
Since Tim was sweet and tolerated broccoli twice this week, I decided to make something that he would like. Still on the comfort food train, I had 2 large russet potatoes that I cut into big, what we call potato logs or wedges. I always soak my russet potatoes. They have so much starch in them. I soak them for a minimum of 30 minutes in cold water and then drain off all the water and take a paper towel and dry each piece as thoroughly as I can. It makes a big difference whether you're deep fat frying, oven frying, or in my case, air frying. So I get everything as dry as I can, and then I toss on some olive oil and seasonings. For today's batch, I used a lot of salt and pepper. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Potatoes love salt. And then I used some Tony Chachere's Cajun or Creole seasoning and tossed them all together, made sure everything was well coated, and got them going in the air fryer.
Alexa, set an air fryer timer for 15 minutes.
So about 25 minutes later, I had some nice crispy on the outside, soft on the inside potato wedges or potato logs. I turned these into loaded potatoes. I added way more butter than should be allowed. I added a whole lot of the bacon bits from a big bag at Sam's Club that I crisped up in a little skillet on the stove. I added cheese 2 or 3 times. I plopped on a lot of sour cream, and then we finished with green onions on the top.
So we are having loaded potato wedges with bacon, sour cream, cheese, and green onions.
Those look really good.
This is kind of your kind of, well, it's actually my kind of meal. I like soup and salad, sandwich and salad, and I do love a good spud with salad. But
You want me to have the potatoes and you have the salad?
how about we split? How about you have 2/3 of this plate and I have 2/3 of the salad?
All right.
That work for you?
Can I have 3/3 of that one?
No, you may not have 3/3 of the potato wedges. You give me tickle. And instead of a fall salad, I just went with everything but the kitchen sink. It's got red onions, mushrooms, carrots, I don't remember, nuts, cheese, olives. Everything's high fat, high calorie salad.
High calories?
High calorie potato wedges. That's what's for dinner tonight.
May need to cut back on that salad if it's high calorie.
Tim caught me on a good day. I turned down Chinese at my local Chinese place, and we went to his little barbecue place.
This is yours.
And I got pulled pork, coleslaw, and a sweet potato.
Oh, this is heaven.
It's heaven for
There's
you.
only one problem with this food.
There's not enough of it.
And I've got a white shirt on.
And Tim got ribs, potato salad, and baked beans, and it comes with rolls and barbecue sauce. This is his kind of food. He's in heaven. You're going to do a happy dance? Happy dance. Look, happy dance, happy dance. Barbecue is what's for dinner tonight. So that's Tim's plate, and he has that much left for a meal, and I'm going to leave him that much. He will get probably 2 or 3 sandwiches out of that. This place loaded us up. Nice when they give big southern soul food size servings.
Taste just wants nuts.
Everything's smoked. Even this sweet potato, I think they smoked it. That's kind of cool. Barbecue.
And we had plenty of leftovers, so I got a night off, which was wonderful, and I appreciated it. Thanks so much for stopping by. Take care and have a wonderful and truly blessed day.